The golf world was going about its business. The Masters was in the rearview mirror. The PGA Championship was still 3 weeks away. It was a quiet Tuesday afternoon in early May. And then Rory McIlroy opened his mouth. Or rather, he opened his phone. At exactly 2 p.m. Eastern Time, McIlroy posted a video to his social media accounts. It was less than 2 minutes long. He was sitting in what appeared to be his home office, wearing a plain white polo shirt, no hat, no logos. His face was serious, his voice was measured, and his words were absolutely devastating. Within 10 minutes, the golf internet had crashed. Within an hour, every major news outlet had interrupted regular programming. Within 3 hours, the PGA Tour had called an emergency board meeting. What did Rory McIlroy say? He announced that he was stepping away from professional golf. Not retiring, not taking a break, stepping away, indefinitely. The world number 2, the 4-time major champion, the face of the PGA Tour's resistance to LIV Golf, was walking away. The golf world has not stopped shaking since. For more coverage in golf, subscribe and hit the notification bell. Rory McIlroy has always been the voice of reason in professional golf. When others screamed, he spoke. When others defected, he stayed. When others took the Saudi money, he held the line. For 4 years, he has been the PGA Tour's most valuable asset, not just for his play, but for his words. He has given countless interviews defending the tour. He has criticized LIV Golf at every turn. He has positioned himself as the guardian of golf's traditions. So when he announced that he was stepping away, the shock was not just about losing a great player. It was about losing a leader. The video itself was simple. McIlroy looked directly into the camera and said, "I have decided to step away from professional golf for the foreseeable future. This is not a decision I made lightly. I have spoken to my family, my team, and a few close friends. The truth is that I am exhausted, not physically, though the body is not getting younger, but mentally, emotionally. The past 4 years have taken everything out of me, the constant battles, the endless questions. The feeling of being a spokesperson for a sport that seems determined to tear itself apart. I need to step back. I need to breathe. I need to remember why I fell in love with this game in the first place." He did not take questions. He did not elaborate. He simply ended the video with a quiet, "Thank you for understanding," and walked off screen. The silence that followed was deafening. For a man who has never been at a loss for words, the brevity was the most shocking part. No timeline, no conditions for return, no hints about what comes next, just absence. The immediate reaction was chaos. PGA Tour Commissioner Jay Monahan was in a meeting when the news broke. According to a source in the room, Monahan stopped mid-sentence, looked at his phone, and went pale. He excused himself and did not return for 2 hours. The tour's communications department was flooded with calls from media outlets around the world. A hastily arranged press conference was scheduled for 5 p.m., then canceled. The tour was not ready to speak. It did not know what to say. Players reacted with a mixture of shock and sadness. Tiger Woods, who has always had a complicated relationship with McIlroy, released a short statement. "Rory is a champion and a friend. I respect his decision and wish him peace." Scottie Scheffler, the world number 1, was more emotional. "Rory is the reason I play golf," he said. "He was my hero growing up. He's been my rival and my friend. The game will not be the same without him." The fans were devastated. Social media was flooded with tributes, theories, and anger. Some blamed the PGA Tour for burning McIlroy out. Some blamed LIV Golf for creating the chaos that led to his exhaustion. Some blamed McIlroy himself for caring too much, but most simply expressed sadness. Rory McIlroy has been a constant presence in golf for 17 years. The idea of a season without him, a major championship without him, felt impossible. To understand why Rory McIlroy stepped away, you have to understand the weight he has been carrying. Since 2022, he has been the unofficial spokesman for the PGA Tour. Not because he wanted to be, because no one else stepped up. Tiger Woods was recovering from his car accident. Phil Mickelson had defected. Jordan Spieth and Justin Thomas were focused on their own games. So McIlroy, by default, became the voice of the resistance. He gave interview after interview. He attended meeting after meeting. He testified in court hearings. He flew to boardroom after boardroom, all while trying to maintain his own game at the highest level. The toll has been invisible to fans, but devastating to those close to him. According to a source who has known McIlroy since his amateur days, the past 2 years have been a slow descent. "Rory stopped sleeping well," the source said. He stopped enjoying practice. He would go to the course and just go through the motions. His team was worried, his wife was worried, but he wouldn't stop. He felt like if he stopped, the tour would collapse. The breaking point came at the Masters in April 2026. McIlroy played beautifully for 3 days. He entered the final round tied for the lead, and then, as has happened so many times before, the putts stopped falling. He shot a final round 74 and finished tied for 11th. It was not a disaster, but it was yet another major championship where McIlroy came close and fell short. The narrative, that he cannot win another major, grew louder. The questions about his mental toughness grew more pointed, and for the first time, McIlroy did not have an answer. After the Masters, McIlroy flew home to Florida and did not touch a club for 10 days. He spent time with his wife and daughter. He read books. He watched movies. He did not watch golf. According to his wife, Erica, it was the first time in his career that he had gone more than a week without practicing. And in that silence, he found clarity. He realized that he no longer knew why he was playing. The joy was gone. The fire was gone. The love was gone. What remained was obligation. To the tour, to his sponsors, to the fans. He called his agent on April 20th and said, "I'm done. For now, maybe forever. I don't know." His agent begged him to wait, to think, to take a break before making any announcement. McIlroy agreed to wait 2 weeks. He spent those 2 weeks wrestling with the decision. He spoke to his parents. He spoke to his closest friends. He spoke to Tiger Woods. And in the end, he concluded that stepping away was the only path forward. The announcement sent shockwaves through the PGA Tour's business partners. Television networks, title sponsors, and equipment manufacturers had all built their marketing strategies around Rory McIlroy. He is not just a player, he is a brand. And that brand is now on indefinite hiatus. NBC, which broadcasts most of the tour's signature events, had planned to feature McIlroy prominently in its promotional campaigns for the 2026 season. Those campaigns have been scrapped. CBS, which broadcasts the Masters and the PGA Championship, had booked McIlroy for multiple interview segments. Those segments have been canceled. TaylorMade, McIlroy's equipment sponsor, saw its stock price drop 7% within hours of the announcement. The company released a statement expressing full support for McIlroy's decision, but investors were not comforted. McIlroy is TaylorMade's most visible endorser. Without him, the company loses its face. The financial impact extends beyond sponsors. The PGA Tour's television contract with NBC and CBS is up for renegotiation in 2027. The networks pay billions because they believe that the tour's top stars will be available to play. If Rory McIlroy is not available, if he never returns, the tour's leverage diminishes significantly. Networks will ask, why should we pay top dollar for a product without its most popular player? The tour does not have a good answer. Ticket sales for upcoming events have already been affected. The PGA Championship, scheduled for May 2026, saw a 15% spike in ticket resales within 24 hours of McIlroy's announcement. Fans who had purchased tickets to see McIlroy are now selling them. The tournament's organizers have not commented, but sources say they are deeply concerned. The international impact is even more significant. Rory McIlroy is not just an American star, he is a global icon. He is the face of golf in Europe, in Asia, in Australia. His absence will be felt most acutely at the Open Championship, where McIlroy is a beloved figure. The R&A, which organizes the Open, released a statement saying, "Rory McIlroy is one of the greatest champions in the history of this championship. We respect his decision and hope to see him back at St. Andrews soon." But behind the scenes, the R&A is panicking. The Open's television ratings have declined in recent years. Without McIlroy, they could decline further. One executive, speaking on condition of anonymity, summed up the mood. Rory is not just a player. He is an event. When he is in contention, ratings go up 40%. When he is not in the field, ratings go down. We have spent a decade building our product around him. Now we have to figure out how to survive without him. The fans have responded to Rory McIlroy's decision with a wave of emotion that has surprised even the most seasoned golf observers. This is not the typical "we'll miss you" reaction that accompanies a retirement announcement. This is grief. Raw, unfiltered, deeply personal grief. Social media has been flooded with stories from fans who grew up watching McIlroy, who named their children after him, who traveled across oceans to see him play. One fan wrote, "I was 12 years old when Rory won the 2011 U.S. Open. I stayed up past midnight in my parents' living room, watching him destroy Congressional. That was the moment I fell in love with golf. I am now 27 years old. I have never missed a Rory McIlroy round. I don't know what to do with my Sundays now. Another fan wrote, my father and I bonded over Rory. He had Alzheimer's, but he never forgot Rory's name. When Rory won the 2014 Open Championship, my father cried. He said, that's the greatest swing I've ever seen. My father passed away last year. Watching Rory was like watching my father's memory. Now that is gone, too. 8. Grief is not limited to casual fans. Longtime golf journalists have also expressed their sadness. One veteran writer, who has covered McIlroy since his amateur days, wrote a column titled, The Day the Light Went Out. In it, he described covering McIlroy's first professional win, his first major, his first world #1 ranking. I watched Rory grow from a boy to a man to a legend, he wrote. And now I am watching him walk away. I do not know when or if he will return, but I know that golf will be darker without him. There is also anger. Some fans are angry at the PGA Tour for putting McIlroy in this position. You ran him into the ground, one fan wrote. You used him as a shield against LIV and then threw him away. Other fans are angry at LIV Golf for creating the chaos that led to McIlroy's exhaustion. The Saudis broke him, another fan wrote. They took his peace of mind and called it competition. But most fans are simply sad. They understand that McIlroy is not retiring because he wants to. He is stepping away because he has to. The human mind and body can only take so much. And Rory McIlroy has given everything he had. The golf world will wait for him. But the golf world will also mourn. Because even if he returns, something has been lost. The innocence, the joy, the sense that golf is a game, not a battlefield. Rory McIlroy carried that innocence for 17 years. Now he is carrying its weight. So what happens now? Rory McIlroy has stepped away indefinitely. The golf world is in mourning. The PGA Tour is in crisis. Sponsors are panicking. Fans are heartbroken. But life and golf continues. The immediate future is uncertain, but several outcomes are possible. The most likely scenario is that McIlroy returns for the 2027 season. 6 months of rest, therapy, and distance from the game may be enough to reignite his passion. He has done this before. After his 2013 slump, after his 2015 injury, after his 2019 struggles, he always comes back. He always finds his way. His love for golf is too deep to abandon forever. But there is another possibility. McIlroy may never return. He may discover that life without professional golf is peaceful. He may discover that he enjoys being a father more than being a champion. He may discover that the freedom of not having to answer questions about his legacy is worth more than any trophy. If that happens, golf will lose one of its greatest players. But Rory McIlroy will gain something more valuable. Himself. The PGA Tour, meanwhile, faces an existential crisis. Without McIlroy, the tour lacks a charismatic leader. Tiger Woods is 50 and broken. Scottie Scheffler is a great player, but a reluctant public figure. Jordan Spieth has not been relevant for years. Justin Thomas is too divisive. The tour needs a new face, and it needs that face now. There is a third possibility, one that no one wants to discuss but everyone is thinking about. What if McIlroy's stepping away is actually a precursor to joining LIV Golf? He has always been the most vocal critic. If he defected, the dam would break. Every player who has ever considered leaving would follow. The PGA Tour would be finished. This scenario is unlikely. McIlroy has too much integrity, too much history, too much pride. But in the chaotic world of professional golf, the unthinkable has become routine. For now, the golf world waits. It waits for Rory McIlroy to speak again. It waits for clarity. It waits for hope. And it hopes that the greatest player of his generation has not played his final round. Rory McIlroy stepped away to find himself. The rest of us are praying he finds his way back. For more coverage in golf, subscribe and hit the notification bell.